I gotta say, sorry for the lack of streams. Mondays, so here's the thing, right? I started playing Avowed. I got it on Game Pass. Fun game so far. The complaints I'm seeing for it are fucking ridiculous, firstly. But secondly, you know, I thought Avowed was coming out on Monday night after I got off work. I thought it was coming out at like 1 a.m. So it'd be like 1 a.m. on a Tuesday. That turned out to not be the case. I missed the mark by a whole day. So yeah. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, I missed the mark by a whole day, which is why there wasn't a Destiny 2 stream on Tuesday, because I wanted to play Avowed. So that's what I've been doing. Gonna try and make sure we get a full thing going next week. So yeah, there's that. What else? No, okay, that's basically it for like general like channel stuff. Again, sorry, lack of streams. Wanted to play Avowed. And yeah, that's brief thoughts so far, because I'm only a few hours into the game. I think it's fun. I'm seeing, other than like the usual grifter shit that I've been seeing way too much of lately, I'm just gonna say one thing, just very blatant, like out there. This is the most I'll talk on it. If you let a culture war dictate, like if you let a culture war dictate how you think, if you think, let me rephrase that. If you let a culture war dictate whether or not a game is good, then you should not be allowed to talk about video games. I'm just saying that out loud, because fucking hell, the amount of people I've been seeing trying to bring Avowed into that whole bullshit it's dumb. It's stupid. They literally they are just looking for shit to complain, and that's why they're always sad. Anyway, other than that, like some of the general complaints I've seen that weren't that other stuff have been people complaining that, oh, I can't kill the NPCs. Oh, I can't kill the damn chicken and make the entire town mad at me. Oh no, the humanity. People are also talking about how bad the water looks, which I'm just like, I don't know, I think it looks good. I think the water looks perfectly fine. What the hell are you talking about? Is it the effects? Like, one of the coolest clips I've seen so far of Avowed is the fact that you can, I think it's a spell called Ice Shield. You literally encase yourself in ice, but it allows you to walk on water. That's awesome. That's really cool. The combat is pretty basic stuff. I kind of wish there was a lock-on function, because it's very, I don't know. I feel like since I played Skyrim with true directional movement, I feel like a lot of like action RPG games like that should have some form of lock-on, in my opinion. Unless there is one and I'm just dumb. Either way. Yeah, no. I think the combat's fun. I'm currently rocking a dual, like I'm rocking a ranger build, so I'm dual wielding, and I have a two-handed rifle that I'm using as my secondary. It's been really fun. I got a fire sword, which I gotta say, the effects on the fire sword is really cool. I like the effects. But I've just find a lot of the basic complaints that people have are like, they're pretty silly. Like, who cares? Who cares if you can't kill the NPCs? Who cares if you can't kill... Okay, maybe the fact that you can't kill a chicken is kind of silly, but I don't really care. I don't really care that I can't kill NPCs. Hell, Amalur, you could... Granted, there's a toggle. There's a toggle if you want to attack NPCs or not, but you still can't initially attack them without enabling the ability to do so. So, I don't know. Maybe that could be something they could add for like a future patch or something. I don't know. I don't know what the update scene is going to look like for Avowed. I don't even know what the modding scene is going to look like for Avowed. That's a whole entirely other like thing we're gonna have to even like take a look at. But you know, me personally, I think the game's fun. My only real complaint that I have is that because the game is set in the Pillars of Eternity universe, and I didn't know about this until just a few weeks before release that it was set in the same universe as Pillars of Eternity, but that the game Avowed so far is making like references and callbacks to events that I would assume take place in both Pillars games. And, you know, since I have not played those games yet, some of those references and callbacks are lost on me. Now, granted, the game does give you the option to look up, like, lore on and all that, like an in-game glossary, which is really cool. And there are certain NPCs you can talk to that can give you the history of the world of, I think the overall world is called Aora, which I'm gonna immediately say I kind of hate that it's called Aora, because, you know, I play Final Fantasy XIV, and Aora sounds a lot like Eorzea, and I kind of just want to call it Eorzea, even though I know for a fact that's not that. It's called Aora. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, and yeah, I'm more of an audio learner when it comes to like anything lore. So having NPCs to talk to get lore tidbits is really nice. I just wish you could find out what NPCs you can talk to for that. But yeah, that's really like my only real complaint with the game so far. And I don't know. The story, I'm getting like major Last of Us vibes with like the overall conflict, the plot. That's all I'll say. Other than that though, I think the game's fun. Is it worth $70? Probably not. Granted, I have refused to buy games at $70. I've only ever done it a couple times, but that's like the most I'll be ever willing to buy a game at $70. So I could definitely see that being like an on sale type deal. But this isn't going into the news segment, by the way.
So that was a fucking lie.
So the one real big piece of news that I got this week, we're gonna talk about Marvel Rivals, because even in the games industry, ladies and gentlemen, even in the games industry, can you make a massively successful free-to-play game that does absolute gangbusters, like it's making millions of dollars within its first couple months, like hundreds of millions of dollars we're talking, within its first couple months. It averages like at least 300,000 players. I'm talking just Steam. Like, what's the current player count right now? It might actually be lowered with what I'm about to talk about. Let's see. Steam charts. Let's see. Marvel Rivals. Yeah, no, actually, Marvel Rivals is still number 2 for most played. It's still number 2 for most played according to the Steam charts here. 24-hour peak, 300,000. It's getting at least like around almost 500,000 players a day. That's also including console players. So doing incredibly well. Even in the games industry, can you make a game that is that massively successful and almost completely kill your competitor Overwatch, and you can still get laid off? Because that is the main story for Marvel Rivals this week. NetEase, for whatever reason, decided to lay off some of the devs, as well as the director for the game, which I apparently, from what I understand, is part. From what I understand, it's like part of their R&D team. I'm not sure. Let me see what I can. I have to look at the article again. I know. Game journalism. It's not really my specialty. I just like talking about it. Anyway. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, from what I understand, I guess it's from their R&D team in the US. But even then, I think, even though people know that, like, oh yeah, the amount of people laid off isn't like entirely significant. It's the fact that you have this massively successful game and then you still choose to lay people off. That's what people don't understand, and why so many people like myself are kind of pissed off. Because why the hell would you even lay anybody off with a game that's successful? That doesn't make any sense. And it's also just a very bold move. Like, I saw someone on Blue Sky post about how, you know, it's very weird of them to do this now. Meanwhile, Overwatch is getting ready for probably its largest update, which is just them re-adding loot boxes, which, believe it or not, a lot of players are coming back just for that alone, which is a little ridiculous and also a little bit sad, honestly. But regardless, yeah, it's super weird for NetEase to do this. Am I disappointed? Very. I am very disappointed in NetEase right now. Will I continue to play Marvel Rivals? Most likely. I don't think this is gonna, because this is the one thing people are assuming this is gonna kill Rivals. I don't think it's going to. I think it's still gonna have a healthy player base until there's literally nothing else for them to do, which right now there's still a ton that Marvel Rivals can do. It still doesn't make sense for them to do this. It just doesn't. And I don't think there really is an excuse. They gave an excuse, but still, you know, if it's an excuse, it's still an excuse. Even in regards to, you know, game being massively successful. Yeah, that's basically it.